Blessed evening, collective. I did a whole reading, did a whole 6-card spread with clarification and everything. It was pretty cool, and then I deleted it by accident. I was uploading it to YouTube, and the YouTube app got full. Shit happened on my phone, and it ended up getting deleted. So them's the breaks, you know, that's the way she goes. Unfortunately, it was a pretty cool reading, and I still want to just deliver a summarization of the message, which was that I pulled on the divine masculine energy right now, the collective energy, not specifically runner or anything, but the broadest version of it. And the effect right now is sort of a hypnosis. The brain is being turned off, the emotions are rising, and it's starting to just sort of make sense emotionally to, number one, let emotions happen, to feel them, and number two, express them, to actually communicate about that emotion. There is just this sort of, again, the brain sort of being shut down. Hypnosis is the best way I can describe it. I am someone who has been hypnotized and is very susceptible to hypnosis. It's a very pleasing kind of state, not that unlike certain states you reach in meditation where things just kind of quiet within and you have no questions, concerns, no doubts, you're just flowing with what's happening in the moment. That's kind of what the effect is right now. Between all of the other aspects, but particularly what's happening with Cancer. Today there's Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. Today there's a sextile between Mercury and Mars in Cancer. It's a feeling of emotional clarity, as is the way that I felt it. And combined with that, the other aspects, a lot of high vibrational energy. It's a sort of lubricating effect, much in the same way that hypnosis is, or other mind-altering things, states where just suddenly there's kind of no fear. It's a sort of removal of fear. Not removal, but a suppression of it. And again, there's the feeling that it's right to communicate. It just feels good. It makes sense in an emotional way. Where once there was confusion about what to do or how to do it, it's all of that kind of being faded into the background. There was a 7 of Cups and a 2 of Pentacles where it felt that all of these other options are just kind of fading away, and so it's clearly this option, clearly this one. It suddenly just makes sense. Also equating it to the feeling of having something that you haven't done, that you really would like to just do, would like to get done with, and the realization that putting it off is creating inner turmoil and stress, and the path of least resistance actually is to just say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I can equate that to having somewhat recently gotten a ticket and paid that ticket. It was a couple months ago. I had the period of being stressed about it, being frustrated, angry, this, that, and whatever, and then finally the day where I realized, you know what, I'm making a big deal out of this. I am causing myself turmoil and stress. The best thing for all would be to just let it all go and go pay the ticket. And then I take back my power. I'm flowing with myself. I feel good about having done this. And so it is a sort of realigning of energy, and where once there was resistance, it's becoming something that feels good to actually just go with it and lean into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull 3 cards very quickly. Wow, no. Yeah, okay. Not this deck though, for some reason. I had it out. Do I need to pull 3 cards? There's suddenly a weird feeling around that. 1 card, because I think I'm summarizing the energy pretty effectively. And it's just going to be the Witches. Yeah, nope, okay. Yeah, it was a whole fun reading with the moon showing up numerous times and 9 of Pentacles. Neither of those energies would go away. There is a feeling, the ultimate feeling was that the jury has been out for a long time, and it's normal to get a little impatient and feel like, gosh, are they ever going to come back in? But they were always going to come back in, and now It's returning. The final card, crossing energy, message from the universe, was justice. Justice crossing 2 cups. I remember the snapshot of the final message was Ace of Pentacles, with 2 cups crossed by justice, and the Chariot, read with Ace of Pentacles. So there's this sense of the energy it's lubricating things right now. Where there was a blockage, where there was resistance, it's kind of under the surface being worked on and loosened up so that all of a sudden it just comes out. The same way that it looks like nothing is happening when you're sitting in a courtroom and nothing is happening. You're waiting for the jury. The jury has been deliberating possibly for days. Maybe this trial has gone on for months and months. It seemed like it would never end. But they are reaching a verdict, and it's not just one verdict, which is a part of why it's taken so long. It's numerous verdicts. They had all of these counts to look over and agree on. That's happening. And much like in a courtroom, where it all happens very quickly, once the jury comes back, the verdict is read and it's all over in a few minutes. It is that sense of things looking like they haven't moved for a long time, not sure if they're ever going to move, and then suddenly just it's here, verdict delivered, we're done, everybody clear out. And yeah, just there's a very dreamy, sedated, hypnotic kind of energy to it. I kind of wash, I don't retain the readings when they're done, but I remember 3 of Cups, the final outcome card being 4 of Pentacles, but that being kind of a reversed energy, which it was shifting. It was suddenly this fear kind of just isn't in the forefront anymore. And now that it's been just removed from view, it's okay, obviously I just express, and that feels good. So yeah, I'm gonna ask the universe if there's anything else it wants me to add, and try not to be too bummed that whole reading is gone. It was just for me, apparently, so thank you. 7 of Wands was the final outcome, clarification. It was 4 of Pentacles clarified by, I can't remember the crossing card, but 3 of Cups, and then the Moon and the Hermit, which came out together in that order. So it was this, again, just the soul taking charge, where once there was fear, it's now got a clear course and it's sort of just following the soul. It makes sense. It's a practical thing to express emotion. Suddenly, again, it makes sense. It's just a logical, this is what I do. And then this being the final card clarifying that sort of everything breaking loose type of energy. So, is what it is. I'm just going to ask the universe if there's anything else, if it would like to summarize or reiterate or add anything, if there's anything that I missed that it wants to make clear. And then you get a, quick little 10-minute version of what was a good hour-long reading. Cathartic, at least, There's a lot of emotion happening right now. It is a rise of feminine energy for everybody. And, I'm remembering just a little bit, in the mental position was the 4 of Swords, which the brain being shut down. It was just quietude. And in the 3D, the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups also came out clarifying 4 of Swords. It's just a lot of love, and suddenly not a lot of thinking about it. Suddenly just a desire to express that. I don't know who that's towards. It may just be towards something on the masculine side. It could be solely internal, but it feels like a lot of external communication as well. And the 9 of Cups, that was definitely a factor. Yeah, it's a realization that the things that had been working to kind of keep somebody happy and stuck, the realization that we've been selling our own happiness short. This was in the pre-shuffle. that we could be happier, essentially, that we've been settling and kind of telling ourselves, this is fine, yeah, it's fine, I'm fine, but it's not working anymore. There's a realization that there is more, and that we could have it. We could have this more happiness if we just flowed towards it. And because I'm curious what's underneath that, yeah, the Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, yeah, okay. Again, there's been a dragging of feet, something that has been slowed down because it seemed like there was a lot to debate there. Suddenly this is not so confusing. Suddenly this is becoming very clear. And it's also becoming very clear that what was a long-term thing could be a relationship, could be a way of being, a relationship with thought. It could be a job, it doesn't matter. But what was a long-term thing that we thought brought us happiness is actually, it's not. We've been clinging to it. There is a strong urge to let go of that security blanket. We saw that too. Judgment crossing the King of Pentacles. It's just, clearly it's time to let that go because it doesn't feel good anymore. And clinging to it is not feeling good. Yeah, it's time to let that go. So I'm gonna actually cut the cards since I read into that pre-shuffle there. Two of Swords at the base energy. Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time for the jury to come back in. It's time for the verdict to be delivered. It's time to pick a direction and move towards it. What's on top? It's time. The Tower. There was a sense of not exactly urgency, but just again, that split-second decision of remembering something that you keep meaning to do. You keep meaning to do it, and then you forget, and every time you remember, you go, oh God, I didn't do that thing again. I didn't do it. I gotta do it. And it kind of keeps happening, and then finally you get that impulse and you go, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now because I have the impulse right now. It's torturing me just thinking about it, and so now I'm getting in the car, I'm going to do it. That's it. Let's start with the Two of Swords. Yeah, Eight of Cups. It's time. Again, the verdict is in. There's no more deliberating, no more waiting. It is just making sense now to do this. What's under the Two of Swords? Yeah, Six of Cups. There's that Chariot. And the Nine of Pentacles came back, which was a repeating energy. It's just gotta get a move on. Gotta go right now. Because I'm the only one who can do this. The more that I put it off, the worse it feels. I know it would feel good just to make a decision, just to make a move. That's the way that this works. And what is the move we're making? It's a move towards the Empress, with an Ace of Swords underneath. There's communication strongly aspected. What's read with the Tower? Seven of Wands comes back. Yeah, it is that same energy of things just breaking loose. Things that have been held up, that have looked stuck, stagnant, like they were never gonna move one way or the other. Under the surface, it's all been loosening, and it's time for stuff to break free. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna pull one more card out because I feel the urge to. There's that Five of Swords. Yeah, this was in the pre-shuffle. It is that awareness, again, that we've been sabotaging ourselves. There's an awareness of that. And every time you do it, you go, oh, no, I did it again. I did it again. I delayed. I should have just gone and done, and instead of going, well, I'll do it in, another whatever, it's, no, right now. I'm going to just do it right now. That's the same way I felt about paying my ticket, whatever, I had a couple of days of beating myself up about it, being angry, whatever, and then I realized I'm just prolonging this for myself. I'm creating more resistance for myself, and I could just let it all go pay the ticket. That's the path of least resistance, and I could feel good about that. Instead of just repeatedly, tearing myself up inside, just go do it. It's no big deal. It's realizing that putting this off is kind of silly. It's a bunch of nonsense. We can just do it. So get up the gall, get up the urge, pull up the pants and come in, communicate, do something. It's been deceptively slow, but it's, again, like the jury deliberating. You can't see it. It's all happening in the background. It seems like it's been taking forever. It kind of has been taking forever, but it's promised that it's coming in, and it is coming in. The jury is ready. They are reaching their final conclusions on the last plea, whatever, and they're coming in to hand it over and deliver the verdict. I think that's the whole message. Sleepy, hypnotic energy, just sort of letting the emotions rise, actually allowing ourselves to feel without thinking about it too much, which is fabulous. And there's just a lot happening beneath the surface. That's all I got. I hope this will suffice. I felt compelled still to, it was cool energy, which, is why it's a bummer. It was really cool and seeing how it all played out. But this is enough to deliver the message, and I that's all I got. I can't get it back. There's no point in fighting it or struggling against it or feeling shitty about it. It is what it is. So just another lesson for me to go with the flow, because what the fuck else you gonna do, honestly, kid? I intend that this resonates. I hope it does. Let me know. I would love to know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. What's happened to you recently that has shown you, well, I have no control. Let's just go with the flow of this because it's not worth it to put up a fight. I've got several things recently, so always more lessons to learn. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening, my lovely collective. Hope you are well. And as always, no matter what, I love you.